So a little bit about Netseer. We are an Adtech company. We provide advertisement solutions for our customers. We work both in the media business, the real-time bidding, and also we're working with premium publishers. We are differentiating ourselves by building a concept graph that allows us both to know what the content is and also know who the users are better than others, and we provide better performance for advertisers and better ads for publishers. Better ads for the users, for the internet users. We're based in Sunnyvale. We also have offices in New York. I'm a senior director of technical operations at Netseer. I'm doing operations for about 17 years. I love to automate and scale systems, and consider myself a freak of metrics. When I joined Netseer about 3 years ago, what we had there, we didn't have many metrics back in the day. We had a vast network with lots of publishers, with a lot of data that can be exposed from various stages of the application of our stack, but we just didn't have the automation tools. So we had a couple of homegrown graphing tools that that people built over time as an afterthought. We had our data mainly exported to CloudWatch, which is very nice, although they only keep your data for 2 weeks, and it's very hard to trend over 2 weeks. The operational side had Nagios with some alerts, and the business side used very long Excel reports that they were scanning manually, literally in the morning, to find out whether there was some inconsistency and stuff like that. So what we actually needed anomaly detection, but back in the day there was no Anodot yet. Or actually, back in the day, I think I started to talk with the founder because I knew him before, with Anodot founder, and we just talked about the upcoming Anodot, what the future brings, but there was no product. So at that point, we started to instrument, I started pushing the company towards instrumenting the application, starting to collect metrics from all the components of the application stacks with some minimal dimensions though. So we didn't have dimension per publisher, we didn't use dimensions per device, we just wanted to know how many requests came to a certain component. We tried to, at that point, we started to measure latency, how long it took to connect to a database, how long it took to fetch from cache, etc. And we also tried to send exception. At this point, I found a company named Librato, a very nice vendor that collects metrics, but they don't have anomaly detection, so that's why I'm standing here now. So, and the adopters, the main users were the technical operations and some of the more, I should probably say DevOps-operated engineers that cared actually about how their product is actually running in production after they ship their code. So what this allowed us is seeing longer time trends. This allowed us to start getting alerts on when application starts to misbehave. And this brought lots and lots of discoveries. And each discovery means lots and lots of money at the bottom line of each and every month. The bad part was the low level of adoption at that point. Limited coverage because there was not enough push. The alerts were, as Uri mentioned before, they were basically threshold-based alerts, which caused A, high maintenance alerts, and B, lots of false alerts. So at that point, Uri came, they launched the product, Uri came, and I told him, hey, we already have very good metric solutions, so I don't think anything will come out of this. But since I knew David, I decided to meet with Uri. So, immediately after meeting, I had to go to my boss, to the CTO, and to tell him, hey, we need to switch our metrics because anomaly detection will save us a lot of headache. We'll be better off receiving up-to-date alerts, and we won't have to maintain those alerts. And also, we can increase the granularity. We have hundreds of publishers or thousands of publishers, and they basically, they range from making, I don't know, maybe $50 a day or an hour revenue to $1,000 an hour revenue. And if we want to track this revenue at least, it will be very hard to do this with any kind of static thresholds, right? Because the revenue is very different between all those publishers. Now think about this multiplied by device. What if we want to track and alert on revenue per publisher per device? And then you can add a geo, and then you can add different platforms if you are using multiple advertising solutions on the same page, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and the list goes on. So you can't actually track this, and you can't make anything useful for this before you switch and you start using anomaly detection. So we started the POC, and after a week, we started to get first business alerts on those multiple thresholds, on those anomalies that we started to see. And again, we brought some very interesting discoveries on publisher level. We've seen that some publishers stopped working with a specific device. We were able to tell, we actually were able to enrich the information that we pass as a feedback to our publishers and bring more value to them, because we can tell them, hey guys, all of a sudden your revenue drops with us, but maybe not only with us on a specific vertical. Maybe you should check your site. And this happened more than once and maybe more than 10 times. So we have basically account managers that are subscribed to this information, and they try to bring meaningful information to our clients. But anomalies are kind of hard to embrace. People are getting used. We've got used over time to those static alerts, static thresholds, and more than once I heard like, oh, let's just make sure that revenue doesn't drop below $50. And maybe next quarter we'll do something, but you have to fight this in your organization. You have to say, when their first results, you have to show them out, and you will win because people will adopt the anomalies. And anomalies might, like some of the anomalies that this view is exposed directly to account managers for their relevant clients, and they can see on a client basis something that they couldn't see before. Whenever some parameters may be revenue, may be CPM, stuff like that, where there any drop or increase, they will see this. And yeah, you can see that you can see the anomaly sleeve that Uri was showing before, and basically this allows you to. The red line is basically where you would have your normal threshold. So whenever some event happens, you would normally not reach that event threshold, this static threshold. You will never know about something that happened, but this metric shows that the irregularity was found, and we get an alert on this. So we started to use metrics. Again, we started to use metrics that we couldn't alert on before. One of the stories that we had is we are running, the RTB business runs on quite expensive Amazon hardware or virtual hardware cloud, and our cluster will be running 4 machines at night and maybe 140 machines at the peak of the day, and those are pretty beefy machines with 32 gigs of RAM and stuff like that. So any time that something breaks in the algorithms that scale this cluster, because not all the components on AWS, they have auto-scaling. So when something like this happens, we were able to catch this early in the day, and this saves you $1,000 a day easily, or maybe an hour even. No, probably a day, quite easily. So like this is very easy to sell and to show as a big success in the organization. That's what we did to kind of drive this to better success levels and to ensure that we continue this in the long term is once I was able to show first improvements and first real issues that were caught that wouldn't be able to be caught beforehand, we gathered the engineering team and we got commitment for instrumentation of the entire stack, and we are pretty much there. Most of the components now send metrics directly on a minute-by-minute basis about what they're doing. They're sending it to Anodot. Each and every product owner has a dashboard that they manage, and they have set of alerts that they also manage, and we discuss them on every release and on every milestone. Also, there is a significant effort to work with our external partners in order to get statistics from them and to track discrepancies much, much faster than we could before, because beforehand we were getting the daily or weekly reports from those partners, and only a week later we would be noticing discrepancies, while now we notice discrepancies after an hour or two, or issues after an hour or two, and we can address them. To improve this process, we started to address metrics on the very early design stages of our products. We also check metrics during each deployment reviews, and we share the results during the company meetings. So just to summarize this, people are used to manage static thresholds. We do this for many, many years. I know I did this for like 15 years. And people are reluctant to give up, but you really should embrace this. And anomalies, they will definitely reduce the amount of false positives and bring way more significant insights. So right now, what we are planning to do is I have a very long list of new features, of new metrics that I need to provide. The entire exec team has all of a sudden daily dashboards that tells them, hey, the revenue, this is the revenue percentage increase or decrease, but not only revenue, all the different parameters that we track, both week to week, year to year, quarter to date, and quarter to date year over year. And this is on a very nice page that tells them every morning the ratio between mobile and the desktop traffic, and this kind of stuff. We are getting rid of the old school monitoring. We're phasing out our Nagios. We're replacing this with something that basically collects the metrics across the board and just forwards them to Anodot. So interesting fact is that the usual kind of operations metrics are not even in Anodot yet. So the load on the servers and the amount of memory consumed by processes, just now, a year after we started, we are starting to migrate them to Anodot. We wanted to do business first because this is where anomaly detection shines. And again, we are working on constant improvement for the application stack instrumentation, new dimensions, more applications, and alerts, defining meaningful alerts for all those. So yeah, we are hiring. Find me here if you're interested. We have a position open for full stack engineer, or one or more. So that's it.